Take a little all-purpose cleaner. It's called our Special Force, actually. Spraying it on a microfiber towel, and now I'm going to wipe down the hood insulator pad, because it did have, it's hard, I know it may be hard to see in the video here, but what I'm doing is I'm wiping away some of the dirt that actually was on the insulation pad, just to make the whole job look perfect. Obviously you can't take that pressure washer to that insulation pad, it'll just blow it apart, and the insulation pad will actually hold the water in and get all over your nice clean motor. Take a little white lithium grease to spray on to the latch, because once you degrease it, it will also eliminate the grease. Now look at that, baby. That's a clean engine. You know what they say, clean engines run cooler. Remember, customer just is getting the engine done in this particular section, so you're going to want to clean your window too. Basically, I'm just taking some of our ready-to-use glass cleaner with a Huck towel, and I'm going to clean the outside of the window. This particular service I would have charged the customer anywhere from $40 to $50. And if they're getting other services done, maybe they're going to get the interior detailed or the exterior detailed, I would probably cut them a break on the price and do it for $35 or $40. Okay, assuming that this car is going to get detailed, now we're going to wash the entire vehicle up. Now, if the vehicle is going to get detailed and the engine's going to get cleaned, I would not dress the motor after I've cleaned it. I'll dress the motor later when I dress the tires. Got to remove the bugs first. You'll have bugs in the spring, the summer, early fall, and some parts of the country year-round. Take a bug sponge, which is nothing more than a sponge with a nylon mesh, sprayed my bug off onto the bug sponge, and I'm basically just rubbing off the bugs that are on the surface. You want to keep the areas that you are using the bug off remover wet. So that's why you want to spray that area first. Never spray the bug off or use the bug off on a dry vehicle, especially when you're out in the heat. Just like the citrus, the bug off is caustic and could do damage to the paint if left on the paint on a hot day. Typically, bugs can be found on that whole front end and on the outsides of the mirrors, the upper ledge of the windshield, and actually the entire windshield could have bugs on it. So you want to be thorough. You want to get all the bugs off now so you don't have to go back to it later. Obviously, the bugs can be on the headlights too, the grille, the lower front fascia, and the air dam. And of course, I'm scrubbing the mirror and the passenger side of the vehicle. I'm going to rinse everything quickly. Again, you don't want the bug off drying on the vehicle. The bug off does have an enzyme in it that'll break down the protein quickly that are in the bug splatters. As you can see, I only wet the affected area that I'm going to work on. I'm not going to wet the whole vehicle. No sense of the water drying on the vehicle and spotting it. Now I have some shade, so if I did that, it wouldn't have been too big of a deal. But many of you are detailing cars out in the sun, and you just do not want to wet the entire car first. You can do that later. The next section of the wash up is the wheel wells, the wheels, and the tires. In the order that I'm doing this is the actual order that you should be doing it if you're going to do a complete wash up on an exterior of a vehicle and get it ready to detail. I'm basically spraying the pressure washer now to remove any excessive dirt. And remember, I put my high pressure tip on. I'm going to take an all-purpose cleaner, the Special Force. I'm going to spray it up into the wheel wells, put a nice coating on the wheel wells. Okay. Chemicals work best if you wet the affected area first, spray the chemical on the affected area, let it set up for 10 or 15 seconds, and then begin to scrub. Which I actually did, but the time was cut out just because of the time on the video. So you should wait at least 10 or 15 seconds before you start to scrub. Now, we turned the wheel so we can get into the entire wheel well. I'm using a wheel slot brush, actually, to get into the tighter spaces of the wheel well. Now I'm going to rinse the wheel well. Again, with any methods and procedures of detailing, you want to start at the top and work your way down. That's exactly what we're doing inside the wheel well component. Don't want to start from the tire and work your way up. You want to start at the top and work your way down. Okay. Just making sure I got that wheel well nice and clean. I got my slot brush in there again. Okay. Now I'm going to take the degreaser to the wheels. The wheels are wet and they're cool. Never spray degreaser on hot wheels. They got to be cool and they got to be wet. Okay, I'm putting a nice coating of the degreaser on the chrome wheels. And I'm going to use an array of brushes to clean them. I'm going to take my slot brush. I'm going to try that first, see how that does on the rim itself. Inside the slots. And many times that brush alone will do the trick in the slots. Unless the brake dust, the dirt, and the grime have settled in and bake themselves into the wheels, then you have to get a little bit more aggressive. And we will show you how to do that momentarily. I'm going to take the cone brush now and go a little bit deeper into the wheel. The degreaser loosened up the grease and the brake dust and the grime that are actually inside the rim. Now I'm going to take my long cone brush to scrub away the dirt and the grime that are actually in the inner rim. Lug nut brush. If you have a vehicle that you're cleaning and the lugs are exposed, this handy brush is a great tool. It really aids in the detailing and cleaning of the wheel. It'll not only clean the lug, but it'll also clean the lug nut well. And that's what separates the pros from the amateurs, is getting into all the nooks and crannies. We actually have two types of detail of lug nut brushes. I'm trying out a different brand here. And you can also use that to scrub some of the other hidden cavities of the wheel that are hard to get into with a conventional brush. Okay, I'm going to take our green brush. That's the soft bristle brush, the same type of brush that I used inside the engine compartment. It will not scratch your vehicle. Make sure that if you should actually have one brush for your engine compartment and another brush for your wheels, and always keep your brushes clean. Clean them out after you've done with each detail. I had some stubborn brake dust that kind of settled on the surface, and I'm taking a nylon brush. I'm not getting real aggressive with it, okay, just to see if I can knock off some of the grease that still may be on, some of the brake dust deposits that may be on the rim. There's a chance it could be tar, so I'm not going to scrub too much harder. We'll come back later if in fact that was tar with the tar remover. But what I've done, I've made a decision that it's not tar. Okay, it's probably just still brake dust. So I went one step above. I went to our breakup, which is a little bit more aggressive than the citrus. There's a little bit of acid in it. Notice I've been wearing our nitrile gloves. The chemicals are all safe, but anytime you're using soaps and you're using them day in and day out, your hands could dry out. So you should make a practice of wearing some type of protection. Keep your hands from drying out. Basically, I'm using a Scotch pad, and now I'm going to rinse everything. If the wheels are really, really bad and looks like they're going to be time consuming, you have to build that into your price whenever you're giving your customer an estimate. If you know you're going to take 10 minutes or longer on each wheel versus just a few minutes, you got to build that extra time into your price. And as you know, some wheels are really bad, especially the front wheels. Next step is to clean the tire. Now this tire does not have a white wall on it. Again, I rinsed the tire to wet it, and we edited out the extra time, but I actually let it set up for about 15 seconds, and I'm taking a medium duty nylon bristle brush to scrub the black wall. Even though it does not have a white wall on it, you still must scrub it, because when you go to dress it, if you don't clean it, it's not going to dress up very nicely. Our particular white wall cleaner has a darkening agent in it that will actually darken out the rubber. It's not a dressing, it'll darken out the rubber, so when you do go to dress, it'll set up nicely. I'm going to take our all-purpose cleaner, which in this case is a Special Force, with our body brush. Now that is a different brush. I know the bristles are green. It's a little bit softer brush. You can use this actually on the body. Now we already cleaned the outsides of the mirrors that had bugs on it, but let's say it didn't have bugs. It just had road grime on it. You still may want to scrub that. And there's some other components also that you're going to want to scrub with the body brush. I actually pushed the mirror in to make it a little bit easier if I get closer to the vehicle. Of course, I won't have a belt buckle that'll rub up against the vehicle. I don't have keys hanging out of my pocket. I'm wetting the lower area of the vehicle, and I'm going to scrub the lower vehicle. I'm going to spray a light mist on the splash guards, the body side molding, the rocker panels, and the lower sections of the body with the Special Force all-purpose cleaner. Just that'll help remove any of the debris that may be stuck to the paint that can be removed during the wash-up stage. I'm going to take the body brush to it. It's nice and soft. It's not going to scratch the surface. Cleaning the moldings, the door, the rocker panels. The wash-up is just as important as the detail. I'm also hitting the door handles. If you do an inferior wash-up and you have to backtrack while you're detailing to clean the bugs or the tar or the wheels, it's going to take you forever to detail that car. That's why spend the extra 10 or 15 minutes. Do the wash-up properly. Do all your scrubbing. Do all your wet work at one time. Now basically all I'm doing is rinsing the dirty water, the dirt and grime off of the vehicle. The lower sections of the vehicle are typically always going to be grimier and dirtier than the upper sections. Again, I'm using the Special Force. You can use the soft body brush as you see me cleaning the rear bumper in the license plate area, or a moment ago I showed you the Scotch pad. And the Scotch pad comes in handy cleaning the inside of the gas cap, because it's tough to get a brush in there, but you should clean the inside of the gas cap. And that's where the Scotch pad and the Special Force all-purpose cleaner can come into play. Of course, I'm going to rinse it all really good. You always want to get all your scrubbing out of the way before you wash the vehicle up. And typically you do start after you clean the motor. If you are going to offer an engine and motor shampooing service, start with the bugs, clean those off the car, clean the wheel wells, the wheels and the tires, the gas cap. Okay, as you see me doing now, again, taking the Special Force all-purpose cleaner with a light-duty Scotch pad to scrub inside the gas cap, because they always get grimy. There's always gasoline droplets left inside the gas cap well. Go ahead and rinse the soap out. You don't want the soap drying on the surface. Won't damage the paint, but it could spot it, and you'll be able to fix it, but you'll want to get all the soap off. Okay, now if this car did not have a convertible top, I would just start washing the vehicle and start with the roof, the hood, and the trunk. But it does have a convertible top, so I'm going to take our all-purpose cleaner again, which is an excellent exterior cleaner. I'm going to spray a light mist. I'm going to do basically a 2x2, 2x3 section at a time. We have a special convertible brush that we're going to use with soft horsehair type bristles. As you can see, it builds up a really nice foam, gets a nice suds going, and what that does, the suds actually lifts the dirt from the fibers and it suspends it in the suds. So when we go to rinse it, we'll be rinsing all the dirt away. Now, you could actually do the entire passenger side and then rinse it and then go